Hi, folks. It's Dr. Christine and Temple with the Soulful Holistic Health Show. Hi, Temple. Great to see you again.
Hi, nice to see you as well. Lovely to be here.
Absolutely. Now, we're in different part of the world, and it's really exciting to be here in the new Soulful Holistic Health Show. Now, we have to define what is soulful holistic health. What do you think?
Well, I think it's a fusion of all kinds of health and wellness, as well as natural modalities that will help you just with weight loss as well as overall well-being.
Yeah, and when I invented the fusion method, it's really a whole system. I thought about that most people that are trying to improve their health or to do weight loss, or whatever they're trying to achieve, they try one thing. It doesn't work. They try one other thing, maybe a supplement, maybe they try a diet or something like that. They read a book. It doesn't work right away, so they give up.
Absolutely. And a lot of my friends that have been on and off diets, whether it's the keto diet or the Atkins diet or any of those diets that you have out there, they're either suffering with the fact that they can't have something, or they're sitting back watching themselves lose weight initially and then regain it all back within the next few months. So the programs I'm seeing are not working for a lot of people. And I think that your methods that you're applying, it's interesting to see them all work together.
And the thing is, science gives us right because statistically is 90% of people that go on a diet do lose weight. So it seems that they work, right? But the statistics also said that 97% of these people gain all the weight back and then some after 18 months. And that is a famous diet roller coaster. And the more often you were on it, the worse it gets and the bigger you get. And really, you can say that diets are the number one cause of obesity and all the health problems associated with it.
Well, look at obesity as being one of the number one causes of inflammation. I mean, inflammation and inflammatory diseases. Obesity is like up there with heart disease and other inflammatory responses. So I think if you can reduce the inflammation, you can really see some effective change.
Yes, inflammation, and I've written extensively about it, is one of the main root causes of many diseases in their different stages of inflammation. And now, not all inflammation is bad for you. Actually, there's good inflammation. We need an inflammatory response. When we have a wound on our skin, it gets infected. The body says, hey, folks, there's infection in me. I need the inflammation. Come here and get rid of the infection. And the inflammatory cells go there and get rid of the infection. And normally there's peace afterwards. But if there's some other root causes, and we'll talk about that later, so keep watching our show because we'll talk about all the root causes of inflammation, of obesity, of all the problems of our modern time, and of course how to fix it, because there is a fix. It's just not as easy as you think. But it's possible, so never give up. And I'm a classic example.
Yes, tell them a little bit about your story because your story is very inspirational. Whenever I'm following somebody in a professional manner, as a personal trainer or a doctor or somebody, I'd like them to be actually aware of their own story so they can share it and have that experience that they can give to others. So tell them a bit about how much weight you've lost and how long you've been able to keep it off.
Yeah, that's really interesting because I started to gain weight like most people when I was young. And my mother, as somebody that survived the Second World War and the famine, she always said, oh, eat a spoon for grandma, eat another spoon, finish your plate, never leave anything. Food is good for you. Eat. So, of course. And then it tasted good. And then came all those candies. And who can run away from candy? They call you, right? You get addicted to them. They really are hard. You crave it sometimes. Many people do so. So I
I
wound at
definitely
some
crave
point,
chocolate.
and then on top of it all, I lost my husband by suicide. I was suicidal myself. I had serious problems. My back went out. I was in chronic pain. I was miserable. And I got on medication, and most medication, psychiatric medication, let me know if you are and some and want to get off, I can help. but most psychiatric medication cause weight gain. So I
Mm.
ballooned even more, and at my highest, I was over 325 pounds. At
Wow.
5'9", I was a balloon, a beach ball, a whale. That's how I felt. And,
Wow.
just walking up the steps, one step after the other, my knees hurt, my back hurt. I got out of breath, huffing and puffing. I just wanted to lay flat and maybe no longer get up. But then I didn't want other people to look after me. Who wants that? Nobody.
Right.
So the alternative for me was at some point I took weight loss surgery. Now, today I know better methods, but then it was a way out. And it is, but
Mhm.
it is not a solution like many people think, because even after weight loss surgery, more than half of the people gain everything back and more.
I've seen that with a lot of people that have had it. Yes.
Because if you don't address the root causes, it's futile. You'll never get healthy.
Hmm.
So I had to work a lot on myself. I had to learn havening techniques. I had to start on the correct supplements. And
And you just froze, but I'm hoping you are going to tell us how much weight you actually lost. You just froze, so I filled in, but tell us, you were just going to say how much weight you lost and how long you kept it off.
I lost 150 pounds, and pretty much all of it I kept off. I may have gained about 30 pounds in the last 17 years back,
Okay.
because I was really skinny after I lost 150 pounds. And I prefer a rounded female figure.
Well, I'm glad because I'm sitting here rather rounded myself. I always used to say curvy. Curvy is good. Curvy
Yeah.
girl, that works.
Our modern society that highly values thinness is a diet culture that's toxic.
It is.
That's
I was
enough.
so tiny. I was 103 pounds in a bikini thinking I was fat. And I just wish that now I kind of went back or could tell my younger self that I wasn't fat, that I was perfect just the way I was. I had, abs, and I've always been busty. So that was always the thing that made me curvy. But boy, oh boy, I wish I could talk to my younger self and say, hey, you are great, because I wish I was that weight now. It would be awesome. Back to being 100. I think I'd like to be 120 pounds. I think that would be ideal for me. I'm not very big. My bone structure is not very large, so it'd be good. I'd like to be there on that weight. But you are what you are, and the older we get, Christine, honestly, the harder it is to keep the weight off. And those of my friends that are in their 30s and 40s, enjoy the weight you're at right now, because over 50, it's harder to maintain. And at 53 right now for myself, I'm seeing a big difference. Big difference.
What worked for me and my clients most of the time is just do not focus on weight at all. Do not compare yourself with your skinny former self, with your skinny models on TV or whatever. They are all have eating disorders. They are sick.
Yes.
It is much better, and actually life insurance statistics prove it. The people that live the longest are on average 20% heavier than what they call ideal weight.
Really?
Yeah,
It's funny that they would name it ideal and then it wouldn't actually be ideal at all.
that is typical for modern medicine. Sorry to criticize you, conventional medicine. I am a conventionally trained doctor, but I'm also a naturopath. And our current science in the Western world is not real science anymore. As we know, it's all about guidelines and finances and do what I tell you. And it's no longer do what's best for the patient, for the client. And it's sad.
Yeah, there's so many medications too. Like even if you're taking aspirin for a headache, it says may cause headaches. Like honestly, it makes the modern medicine, kind of a joke in a sense. So all the side effects that happen with the medications. I love working with you because you're a modern doctor. You've been a doctor. You've been trained in Germany, and you're also a naturopathic doctor. And I think that's a really nice, if you want to use the word again, fusion. But it's a really nice way of putting the bigger picture together. When I believe, hey, I wanted to be orthopedic surgeon. I believe very heavily in the medical field, and I feel like everybody's a human that's trained. And I think that more training needs to go into nutrition for most of the doctors that are out there, because that's a huge starting ground. And having the right nutrition and the whole foods and all these synthetics that are out there and GMO products, it's very scary, and the world that our children are growing up in.
That's true. And now I'm not against conventional medications. They all have their place. If I have just a headache for a day, I like to take an aspirin or Tylenol or something like that, if it's one. But if you get dependent on that, there's a problem. The same if somebody is severely depressed, to touch a hot button in mental health medications. If somebody's severely depressed, maybe antidepressants or other medicines are right for them. The problem is they keep them on them for life, and they tell them you need it forever. And the truth is you don't. But also what they don't tell you is when you stop medications, whatever it is that you took for a long time, you get withdrawal symptoms. And
Yep.
then you think that is the illness again. And nobody tells you, and please listen to us if you're in that situation. These are withdrawal symptoms. It's not the mental illness coming back. It's not the inflammation coming back. The inflammation was always there. It's just the suppression is no longer there. And then the root disease is still there because it's never been cured, because it's just mopping up the spill. If you have a bucket that's overflowing and you mop up the spill, the bucket is still overflowing. So that's why I'm a fan of root cause medicine. And inflammation is one of the root causes. And it's important, and we'll talk more about it. So thank you for addressing that, Temple. And I know you're very active in that area and very knowledgeable. And I love that. And I can't wait to talk more about it. But I think we should slowly go to the end of this episode. We are 12 minutes running, and I don't know if anybody's listening. Now, if you're listening, and I know we are live, if you're listening, type below your questions. Please do, because we'll answer all the questions. We may not have time during the show right now, but we will answer everybody. We'll tag you so you get noticed. So please let us know in the comments, ask questions, whatever you want to know. What do you want us to talk about? What do you want to know from Temple? She didn't even share her whole story. She has a really good story.
Well, you know what else I'd like them to do too is get that free call from you. Call that number by going into the website 123sparkle.com and try and book that free call, because the amount of areas of expertise that you have that you could offer people is incredible. And people always say to me, can never get a hold of a doctor. Well, look at Dr. Christine, you're available. Just book those calls with her. So looking forward to talking to you again soon in our next episode.
Take care.